So this right here, this is a wonderful question from the creator. Aaron, how do we appropriately express anger? Um, Most of us, the vast majority of us, did not have great role models for how to express anger growing up. If you did, that's amazing. But it's something I've had to work really hard on myself many years ago in my own healing journey. I asked a practitioner that I was working with, like, yeah, but what do I do with this anger that's in my body? I can't. I sit down to meditate. I can't find it. I sit down to journal. I can't find it. I can't locate it. She was an energy worker, and she had me on the table. She said, "Well, let's take a look." And so she went in, and after a few minutes, she was like, "Hmm." And so, of course, I said, "What?" And she said, "Aaron, you have shame piled on top of your anger." Y'all, I just burst into tears on that table. Wasn't the first or last time that she hit me with a truth bomb like that, but that one really landed. And I realized as she said it that that was entirely true. That I had a story, I was carrying a story that anger is bad, that mad is bad because when dad is mad, dad is bad, was my experience as a little person growing up. And so I had completely disavowed anger because I had seen and experienced personally how destructive it could be. But of course, that didn't mean just because I disavowed it or decided that it was a lower vibrating emotion many years ago when I was buying into a lot of spiritual bypassing nonsense, masquerading as so called New Age wisdom. And so, yeah, I recognized with her help that I had difficulty accessing anger consciously when I wasn't triggered, when I was just trying to surface emotions that were warehoused in my body. I had difficulty doing that with anger. I could do it with sadness, I could do it with other emotions, but I couldn't do it with anger because I fundamentally had a story that anger is shameful. Well, long story short, I did learn, how to work through that shame and start to change my story about anger. And in the intervening years, and it's been close to a decade and a half now, I've learned to be able to surface anger in my body just sort of day to day. When I sit in meditation, one of the things that I do, it's a somatic experiencing practice, is just ask, what feelings are stored or are in a line here that need my awareness, my attention, and I work through them. So the first thing I would say is that one of the things that will prevent us from our anger coming out in ways that are hurtful or even harmful to others is to befriend it. That's the first thing. And to look at what stories we have about anger. And after that, we can start developing some practices for being able to metabolize it. I'll create another video on that following this one. But that's the first thing that I would say is let's inquire compassionately about what stories we have about anger before we start asking what to do with it. I'm curious what you think. Hit me in the comments. Take care now, y'all.